You know, we're on YouTube and like you're looking at old synthesizer demos, and then you sort of get obsessed with a certain product, and then you sort of watch more videos about that product, even though they're like from 10 years old or 15 years ago. And you go, and then you start sort of thinking, and then of course you start looking on eBay, don't you? And you go, oh, how much are they? How much are they? And then because on one item you linger a bit long, you know, or maybe you watch it, then the seller, they send you an offer, don't they? They send you an offer and you go, oh, they sent me an offer now. Oh, that's a good offer. Anyway, long story short, I bought a DX. Yeah, so I bought the Reface DX edition. So about 10 years ago, Yamaha came out with their Reface range, and there was like a CS, like synthesizer one, this DX one, there's an organ one and a piano one. So what this is a 4-operator FM synth. Is it a wise choice to get this synthesizer, given that obviously the good old Volca FM2 this is a 6-operator FM synth, so we might expect this to sound better than the Reface, and obviously this has chorus and reverb, and indeed this does sound very nice. And obviously Korg brought out their Op 6. I think they're on version 2 of Op 6 now, which is a very, very deep synthesizer, and you could probably pick up the original Op 6 probably second hand, like for a similar price to these units, brand new, because these are about £360 in the UK. But as I say, you know, the idea of this instrument just sort of grew and grew and grew in my head until, like, you know, well, I had a good offer. So yeah, so what is this? So it's a 4-operator FM synth, has presets loaded in, has, you know, nice weight, nice sort of you know, few simple controls, pretty simple sort of unit really. Build quality fantastic, like the overall unit just feels, I mean, it's pretty heavy, to be honest. Feels great, lovely key, although it's mini keys, right? Really nice keyboard. And I'll say the same for the Reface CS as well, similar kind of deal. You know, and if I compare it to sort of modern, say, MIDI controllers, just don't really have that cheapy plasticky kind of feel. This is like in a different league. It really nice sort of, you know, solid bit of equipment. Before we have a quick look at what it can do, let's just tell you what it can't do. What it can't do, apparently, and I've not tried this, but apparently it can't just load in old SysX or whatever that format is of the old DX patches. I know some of the Yamaha instruments, you know, you can do that. I think Dex said plugin, you can do that. And I've not tried it on the FM2, the Volca FM2, but apparently you can as well. So you can't just go, oh, these classic old patches, I'll just load them in. However, apparently there is a Yamaha sort of official DX Reface website that has a sort of library of patches, probably, you know, community patches, which you can load in. And I haven't found that site yet, but I imagine you'd go there and there'd be, like, you know, some familiar, like, Foley bass, Axel lead, and all that kind of thing. If you wanted to recreate that classic Beverly Hills Cop theme. So that's what it can't do. But what it can do, well, I mean, it's just a really nice sounding and nice feeling synthesizer. And I thought, you know, obviously, you know, folks got super interested in sort of, you know, analog sound. A lot of mono synths out there, isn't there? So just to have an instrument that is, you know, coming from a completely different sort of part of the synthesis world, it's a nice instrument to have. So in terms of the sounds, it has 4 banks of presets. Each bank has 8 patches, so we can go, you know, bank, I'm in bank 4, press bank again, back to bank 1, press bank again, I'm in bank 2, I'll press 6, so then in bank 2, number 6, bleep club. Now I am running, because I was playing with it earlier, I'm running the external effects, but this does have its own effects into it. Okay, that's a particularly dry patch. So I know that there's some nice pads in bank 4. This is star pad. For the FM parameters, there's these 4 buttons here, and you know, the scary thing with FM is like, oh, how does it work? Am I going to be able to program this thing? But also the advantage is, like, so you can just go to the algo button and it's showing you, you know, how the algorithm, you know, the 4 operators are sort of chained, and you can use these like funky controllers here and just then, you know, sort of cycle through the different sort of the way the operators are chained together. And go, oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's interesting. We have, you know, other controls for sort of changing the sort of timbre of the voice. So you sort of hit one of these and then just sort of change things with this, and then, you know, just sort of alter to taste, really. And I think, you know, these instruments, or, you know, this way of working really sort of encourages that sort of exploratory kind of thing. Like, I don't necessarily have a sound in my mind that I'm trying to go after, but, you know, I'll just spend some time playing, right? We can change the level, so we can just have, I just want to listen to operator 3 and 4. You know, and it's you know, I didn't look at the manual, but very, very quickly I was like, yep, I think I know what I'm doing. Envelope has been implemented a bit strangely, because I know there's like envelope level. No, I need to go, yeah, edit envelope level, and I get the sort of that character, you know, that familiar sort of envelope diagram. But there's also envelope rate. So I know if I want to have more release of this patch, I need to alter it under rate rather than level. So like the way the envelope is also the amp envelope is implemented just seems a bit odd to me. But then, you know, I'm not an FM synth aficionado, so maybe that's just how FM is, Mark. That's just how it is. LFO settings there, as you might sort of expect on a synth. So yeah, I mean, as I say, exploration. There's a looper function which is, I don't know, potentially good for setting up a drone and then playing over it. Effects, so first impressions of effects, chorus is good. We can change that type. We've got two sort of slots for effects. Flanger, phaser, and obviously we can change, you know, rate and depth here. Delay is like I'd say it's like a digital delay, pretty good. However, the reverb wasn't loving Wasn't loving the reverb, which is why I've had sort of my Lexicon reverb going, but you know, it is there. But then obviously what you could do is you go, well, I don't want reverb, I want distortion. And again, distortion not great, but you know, I have a load of pedals down there which are slightly more interesting effect. But you know, we could go, yeah, I don't want the distortion, some kind of wah effect. You know, I want chorus in one slot, and then I press effect again, and I can have my flanger in the second slot. And then we can just dial in some reverb from the Lexicon. Yeah, nice. Pitch bend down here. Let's just show you that. Sorry, on the camera. Pitch bend down here. Octave feature. Volume. And I have to say, sliders, buttons, this sort of little tiny like touchscreen, it feels really nice. Feels really nice. Yeah, and again, you know, 10 years ago, did all instruments like to have this quality? I don't think so. So I think, you know, Yamaha were definitely like, you know, on their game when they put this out. And yeah, in my opinion, still a good and interesting synth to have. What I'd like to do is maybe just do a few more, you know, follow-up videos to this, which is sort of a bit more focused on some of the different things that you could do with this. It has MIDI by a sort of a breakout cable that goes in there, and the breakout cable does come with the synth, so happy days. However, I plugged a USB in, plugged it in, and you know, the driver was there. Reaper saw it immediately, go, yep, I've got a Reface, a DX Reface attached. You could send MIDI to it, set on, I think it's channel 1, because it's basically, you know, although it's a second-hand unit, it looks basically shop new. I don't know how to change the channel on it, so that's another video to look into. So yeah, I mean, in terms of, you know, although yeah, it's an FM synth, oh, it's complicated. I had this up and running in like no time, and I think probably Yamaha were deliberately trying to, you know, create these instruments just to give you, you know, that kind of, I mean, not starter synths, that's you know, it's just a horrible expression, but just, you know, just dive in, start playing, happy days. All right, let's call it a day there. All of the little clips that I've put in along the video, I haven't used external effects. You know, everything is just coming from the synth, and there'll probably be a little bit of compression post in the video. All right, that's the end of the video. See you in the next one. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da.